Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's good to see you in this evening of Shabbat as we prepare to welcome Shabbat together as community. We're talking today with some of you about Shabbat and the dedication, the preparation that we need in order to be able to celebrate Shabbat. And as we enter this Shabbat, I want to invite you to do a very short exercise. There are 39 prohibitions for Shabbat. There are 39 things that we are not supposed to do in Shabbat. Most of them we do. Now, they symbolically, they represent other things. And I want to address one of them, one that I have addressed in the past. One of the prohibitions for Shabbat is to carry. You are not supposed to carry stuff. I grew up in a synagogue, for example, that had place, like had room in the pews for people to keep their talitot and their prayer books, so they didn't need to bring them in Shabbat. They could keep, and when you visit synagogues all over the world, you will see that still work the same way. There are places in which each congregant has his own place to keep his talit and his prayer book, or I would say her talit and her prayer book, but it's not on those areas of Jewish practice. But there is a prohibition about carrying stuff in Shabbat. And you will see that in Jerusalem or in religious cities, some of the Hasidim, some of the religious Jews, they walk with their keys attached with a cord to their pants because they're trying to avoid the prohibition of carrying in Shabbat. So that's the technical practice of not carrying in Shabbat. But there's a spiritual practice of not carrying in Shabbat. And it's trying to recognize things that we don't want to have with us as we try to celebrate these 25 hours of dedication. Things that we know that they will be there in another 25 hours. They're not disappearing from our lives. But we don't want to have them right now with us. And we have the ability to make that choice. So as we enter this Shabbat, I want to invite you just for a moment to close your eyes and to think about something that is very heavy for you right now and that you want to leave behind as you enter Shabbat so you can be free to celebrate this seventh, this sacred day. Try to recognize it and decide that you are going to keep it in some room in your brain, in your heart. You're going to close that door and leave it for 25 hours. We will open our siddur now on page 120. In order to light Shabbat candles, I'd like to invite John and Ann Goldman to lead us in the prayer. Please rise as we light Shabbat candles.
Chata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Shalom, Toda Rabah. Let the Shabbat candles bring the light that we need so much. You may be seated, and all the light that our world needs. And talking and thinking about light and love, that's how we start our Shabbat. We start our Shabbat thinking about love, about the love that the universe has taught us, romantic love, brotherly love. We think about love. So this week I got an email from the father of from a near church, and he tells me, Rabbi, we need to talk. We have been praying for your community and for you, and I think we need to do more than that. There are lots of anti-Semitism. And I think we need to do more than that. I can tell you that my heart was full to get such a call from a friend that is thinking about us, even when we don't know about that. And he's calling me just to tell me that we need to do more. Not that he's not praying, he's not thinking, he's already praying, he's already thinking, he's already sharing with his community. In Shabbat, we realize that we are not alone, and that we are surrounded by love. We just need to have the ability and the strength to recognize that. We turn our siddur into page 129. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. our Sidurim now to page 130. We welcome Shabbat with joy as we celebrate this opportunity for personal transformation. The Huna Adonai, followed by Shirula Adonai on page 130, 131. Page 131. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Last time and breathe, Shabbat. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Return our Sidurim to page 134. Sambrula Adonai. Transform all these energies that the seventh day brings to us into melodious song.
Samru l'Adonai bechinor v'kol zimra b'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar hariu לפני המלך אדוני ירום היום תבל ויושבך העלות ממך וכף אף יחד הרים נרננו לפני אדוני קיבה ישפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל וצדק והרים למישרים
Itam hayamon lo Ever veyoshveva Hayrai ve'alot Imcha ukaf Af yachad harim yeranenu
אף יחד הרים ירננו.
Turn our Sidurim now to page 138 to sing the poem that stands in the center of our Kabbalat Shabbat. A poem that was written by a Jew that was a part of a group of Jews trying to find some more meaning in their Jewish life and experiences, trying to find some more rhythm into the melody of Shabbat. And then they started to dance in the fields of the city of Tzfat to welcome Shabbat. So, as we sing Lechadodi, we connect with generations of Jews that have been trying to connect with tradition and at the same time renew our traditions in order to find meaning and in order to find the real joy of welcoming Shabbat as community. The Lechadodi on page 138, we sing the first, the second, the fifth, the sixth, and the ninth verses of this beautiful poem.
לך דודי לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. 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 שלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה.
While you're standing, there's one wonderful sentence that we say in the middle of page 140. מרבו מעשה חיה, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. How wonderful are your acts, are your actions of an eye. How deep are your thoughts. Very simple melody. If you don't know it, just let it come through a few times and you will be able to join. Page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחייתך בית ישראל.
Now to page 146. We ask to our hearts to be open and to find the ability to pray.
Baruchu et Adonai, HaMevorach.
They're on page 148. Let's read together in English.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
I invite you to turn your figurine to page 150. And as you turn to page 150, just to close your eyes for a moment. As we get closer to the moment of the Shema in which we declare the unity of God, we understand and we think that in order to internalize that unity, we need to realize that we are deeply loved. Each of us experiences love in different ways. And what's unique about the Shema is that when we get closer to that moment, each of us is invited to think about those different ways, your unique way, in which you experience love. So I invite you to think about what makes you feel loved. It might be a space, a landscape. It might be a place. It might be a memory. A person. Or loving hands. The image of loving hands that touch your shoulder. As we think about that love, we can realize, we can understand the beauty of this world. Better to take a deep breath. And to think for a moment about how beautiful your world is.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself,
never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai, Oev Amo Israel. We turn our study to page 152 for the Shema.
Shema,
Israel, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad.
please join me on page 154 for Ve'ahavta. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם נרות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמן
אדוני אלוהיכם אמן. אמת ממון הכל סודק הים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואין סולתו, ואנחנו ישראל המון. Continue with the silent reading for page 156. Your children witness your presence, they praise your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices with joy. Who is like you, O God? Mi chamocha, Ba'elim Adonai, on page 158.
Ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot, osef eleh, Torah tehilot.
Miyad chasag mimei. That it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praise are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, God Israel. Now you saw for the first time in public, for the millions of people watching us online.
Hi, Mom.
And all, and all those clergy arguments. As happened in my household, we'll do whatever you want.
Cool.
We are in the middle of page 160. It's about peace, eternal peace. Trying to find peace at home. I will ask with your shelter of peace. God, Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkah shalom aleinu ve'al kol amon Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Jerusalem, to Yerushalayim, for Tfilat Amidah, as we try to find the space for our personal prayer. You can follow the words of our tradition between pages 166 and 180. You can alternatively try to find your Tfilah Shebalev, the prayer of your heart, the words that you need to say in this evening of Shabbat. You're on page 164. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Adonai open up my lips תגיבו לעולם אדוני מחיים מתים את הרב להושיע מחכה חיים מתים רחמים רבים שמח רפים רפים ותרסים מגעים אמונות לשם אתה קדוש בשמך קדוש אתה קדשת לי ממש בעיניך, אני מלכת מסכות שלך בסדר, לא נכנס לה. אדם בבית תקווה, ותרסם תמיד. page 180. זה יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צולי וגואלי. The words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. We have one more prayer. We take one moment to think about those that are dealing with illness in their bodies, illness in their spirits. We think about those that are dealing with addictions. If you have a name that you'd like to share this evening of Shabbat, please do so as I point in your direction. Phil.
Denha Michael Cooper.
Think of those that the names we have said, and we think of those that their names we have said in our hearts. We turn our Sirin to page 371 for Mishedrach. Wish to all of them refuah shlema v'chlama meira, a complete and a fast recovery. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen.
let's do some Torah. So, I had dinner with some of you, so I guess that if I ask what's the Torah portion that we are reading this week, 20 of you can say straightforward. Eh? He will live. Jacob. Oh, he will die. Yes, he will die. We'll talk about that in a second. I always like to remark that. By him, and he will live. As we already know, every time that a Torah portion starts with any word related to life, it's because we will talk about someone's death. This Torah portion by him starts with Jacob lying on his deathbed. He's not the only one who will die in this Torah portion. Joseph will die too. And as much as you might think, just looking at the summary of this parasha, this Torah portion, that its main topic is death, I'd like to argue that actually the central element of this Torah portion is life choices and opportunities. as Rabbi Arthur Green says, in Judaism, the question is not whether there is life after death, but rather if there is life before death. So, in Jewish tradition, our main focus is not the post-mortem component, but rather the way in which we choose to navigate the episode of our physical existence. I want to describe for you two scenes of this Torah portion that are very representative of this idea of timely choices. The first one is while Jacob is lying on his deathbed, he makes Joseph to promise that he will bury him in the cave of his parents, Me'arat HaMachpelah, which among other things means not just not to be buried in Egypt, where Joseph is almost a king, but also not to be buried near Bethlehem with Joseph's mom. Something else that happens in this scene is that Jacob shares blessings, starting with Joseph's children and continuing with all his own children. This scene in which he asks for something and he gives something shows both his power and his impotence. Jacob has the power to shape the very last moment of his life by leaving his children with blessings. But he doesn't have the power to determine where he's going to be buried. His will and wish are left to Joseph's decision-making. And here's the second character, with a story that is no less interesting. When Joseph decides to fulfill his somehow challenging father's wish, he's not just doing that because of Jacob. Joseph fulfills his father's request because of who he, Joseph himself, wants to be. A week ago, we read Parashat Vaygash, and we learned that Joseph chose reconciliation over rancor, and now he's choosing Chesed Shel Emet, which is the kind of mitzvot, of commandments, we perform for someone who cannot thank us anymore for doing them. They are called kindness of truth. Chesed Shel Emet, because there is no direct interpersonal recognition for them. The next scene is Joseph meeting his siblings. The siblings are afraid. They fear that now that Jacob is gone, Joseph will take revenge and kill them. So they tell him, before he died, our father, Dad, Jacob, told us that you shall forgive us for all the terrible things that we did to you. And Joseph reacts to that by crying. He just cries. He tells them, don't you see that this was all God's plan, so I could be in this position and help all of us to survive? And here is Joseph once again making a choice and repeating the narrative that allowed him to forgive, to reconcile, to be kind, and to move forward in his relationship with his entire family. This Torah portion is not about death, but rather how our decision-making tells the story of our lives. It's about learning that even very challenging circumstances can push and move us toward positive places if that is the direction we want to take and the story that we want to tell. As we conclude the book of Genesis, we look at our own stories. Our own stories of arrogance and selfishness. Our own stories of hurting and being hurt. We think about past crossroads and present ones. And we ask, what's the story of the lives that we want to live? How we can use our circumstances and channel them into a power that pushes us forward. By He, and He will live, is the last Torah portion of the book of Genesis. We look back and we remember that Torah doesn't present models of human perfection. It rather showcases stories of very imperfect humanity, filled with the hope extracted from individuals driven by faith and hope, and given the divine gift to experience personal transformation during their lifetime. Given the divine gift to experience personal transformation during our own lifetime. In this Shabbat, may we recognize our challenges and find the strength to make choices that give us the power, the opportunity to tell the stories of our aspirations and to live the lives that we want to live. Shabbat Shalom. We turn our Sidurim now to page 586 for Aleinu Leshabeach. Please rise as we open the ark.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא סבנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל העמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים מודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. At this point of our service, we take a moment to acknowledge mourners among our community. If you are during the first 7 days of mourning, Shiva, please rise. If you are during the first 30 days of mourning, Shloshim, please rise. 2 weeks, 30 days. And remind us who you are remembering. If you are during the cycle of the first year of mourning, please rise. And share with us who you are remembering, please. If you have a yahrzeit this week, an anniversary of death, please rise. I also remember my mom this week. Now you can support. Now you can support our fellows while standing or sitting, joining us with your voices and your hearts on page 589 for Mourner's Kaddish. התגדל והתקדש שם הרבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי בהמליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובמחום, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמעלמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי תקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דע אמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יש למה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. May the memories of our dear ones be a blessing in our lives. Yes, Sichram Baruch, you may be seated. So next week, besides celebrating Shabbat, we will be calling you up, Aiden, to the Torah. And on Friday night, he might be playing guitar. He might be playing some guitar, right? So we are really, really excited to share some music with you and for you to share some Torah with us. He has been preparing for the occasion for several months. And we are going to be here to accompany you on that day too, and hopefully on many other days of your life. And we will welcome you as an adult member of the community, which basically means that you can be counted for minion and make a donation to the congregation. Yes. So now. So tomorrow, Professor Paul Leaves will share some wisdom, important wisdom with us. Paul will be talking about the impact of the army in the Israeli society, how the tzavah, how the IDF shapes the Israeli society. This year for us at TBT is a year of study about the Israeli society. We have a class called the Tribes of Israel, and we are studying every month about different agents in the Israeli society. We are taking a delegation that is basically a study group that is going to be, we have a few of you here, right? Where is Susan? Ah, you're here. So Susan and Gary and Beth and many others. Am I missing anyone? No. Of those sitting here, no. So we are going to be visiting Israel and learning about the Israeli society and the different agents, actors in the Israeli society. Professor Lips is also someone that 2.5 years ago, when we went to Israel with a different group, we actually asked him to teach a class for us. And this year, yes, you met him, and doesn't matter, I'll show you a picture later. And this year, the Community Scholar Program, the CSP, brought him from Israel for a month to Orange County. And so we have the opportunity to have a class with him, a study session with him. If you haven't RSVP'd yet, please just come, show up and study with us. It will be a great opportunity. And next month, the first week of the month of February, we have our our Havaya and ECLC Shabbaton. So we are looking for grown-ups that want to sponsor little kids that have no resources to participate in this important activity. So if you'd like to sponsor one of our children or teenagers and provide for them a beautiful and very important Jewish experience, please speak with Rachel, and she will be very, very, very happy to embrace your donations and support for this matter. And if you want to volunteer, I don't know, if you're a doctor, let's say, you're a doctor, a young doctor, or a young doctora, and you want to come for 2 days to take care of a bunch of kids, and some adults that are going to be called, and you have nothing better to do during that weekend, hey, we need you. So we'll pay for your meals. So we are looking forward to having your support. I think that's it. We are going to conclude our service with Kiddush. We'll turn our study into page 142 for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, Ad Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ad Kadosh Baruch Hu, Boachei Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Ad Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ad Kadosh Baruch Hu, Choni Leshalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, Ad Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ad Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ze'elchem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei Amlachim, Ad Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ad Kadosh Baruch Hu. We're on page 122 for Kiddush. 123.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'gafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'rotzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'vratzon yinchelanu, zikaron למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה
למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, אותנו קידשת, עם כל העמים, ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדיש השבת.
Amen. We're going to take one more moment for one more song to conclude our service. We look at each other. Let's make sure that everybody leaves this space with a blessing. We take the millennia-old words of our tradition and we say, Yivrechem Adonai beish merechem, may God bless you and protect you. Yisa Adonai panav elechem beichunechem. Yeir Adonai panav elechem ve'asim lachem shalom. May God's presence be within all of us always. And may God bless us with peace. May God bless us with the ability to find the power to shape our own stories, our own narratives. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Ya da la da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da la da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ya da da da. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Umevorach. Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Umevorach. Lai 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 lai. Ya lai 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 lai. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
See ya.
Good boy.